All right, so welcome. My name is Alejandro Avalar, and alongside me, I have Brittany, Kylie, and Toya. And today, we will be here to discuss our cross-cultural training for organizations and groups around the world. Let's go ahead and move to our next slide. So, as globalization has taken over the world in the past decades, and even more so with the rise of video conferencing, such as what we're using today, Zoom, especially because of the COVID-19 pandemic, understanding what it is to be cross-cultural in organizations is more important than ever. And that is what we are here for today. So today we will be presenting our upcoming course for organizations across the globe to make diversity, equity, and inclusion an integral part of every organization and provide them with the tools to deal with and become cross-cultural. Let's go ahead and move to the next slide.
Hi, I'm Toya. Learning outcomes. At the end of the training, participants will develop a broader understanding of cultural differences, cultural sensitivity, and how to avoid cultural stereotypes and bias. Improve their ability to develop and build strong and lasting interpersonal relationships with other cultures. Develop and increase awareness of how to navigate through interactions with people holding positions of authority across different cultures. Know how to hold conversations and handle business meetings and negotiations while maintaining intercultural etiquette. Improve the reputation of organizations they represent when doing business with people from other cultures or when working in cross-cultural teams.
Brittany, you're muted.
Social skills training, SST, model and concepts of bicultural competence. SST model, role modeling, group conscience, reinforcement, rehearsals of behaviors and apprenticeship training. Bicultural
competence concept, exploration of discrimination, skills and bicultural rights, language styles, social expectations, and social reinforcements. Exploration of the SST model with different races, ethnicities, and compare and find similarities and differences.
So my name's Kylie. I'm going to go over the proposed context where this training would be appropriate. So cross-cultural training would be appropriate really in any job setting, and it's important to discuss diversity among various cultures in the workplace. So it can help reduce stereotypes, teach positive etiquette, and address any communication issues. And I'm going to go more in depth on other slides about each of the three. So the first one is reducing stereotypes in the workplace. Stereotypes in the workplace can create a negative judgmental work environment. Workplaces are often very diverse, having a general understanding of other cultures, and which can help minimize stereotyping and allow colleagues to feel more comfortable in their work environment. And we could incorporate real life examples of stereotyping within the training in order to make the training more educational and more impactful. The second one is teaching positive etiquette. So some cultures may have certain business etiquette they like to follow, and some things they may find rude. So training would educate everyone on the etiquette of various cultures, like what to do and what to avoid in certain situations. And then the third one is address any communication issues. So communication plays a key role in success within a business, but along with that, it can also play a negative role. So training can establish common grounds of communication, for example, how to be respectful to colleagues and also what to avoid in conversations. So then this leads us into the workshop activities. So the first activity that we thought of was the Find Someone Who activity. I actually did this in one of my undergraduate classes and we got to learn a lot about one another. So the purpose of this activity is to get to know your peers. Each paper has a table on it that's divided into 9 sections, and each section lists a different Find Someone Who statement on it. For this activity specifically, each statement would have to do with culture-related things. The activity is best done in smaller groups, and the best place to have this activity, I would say, would be a basic conference room or any single room. And then the materials for that would be the paper with the activity printed onto it and just some highlighters or pens just to cross off as you go. So some examples would be find someone who speaks more than one language, find someone who was born and raised in another country, how has their culture in America differed from their home country, or find someone who has studied abroad or visited another country for a prolonged period of time. What was the culture in the other country like, and how did it differ from their own culture if it was different? And then the second activity that we came up with was the common get to know you icebreaker. So each person in the room shares some information about themselves so everybody in the room can get to know each other. They can share their name, where they're from, any cultural fact about themselves that they're comfortable sharing, basic things like that. And this activity can be done anywhere and can be done in both larger and smaller groups. It might take a little bit longer in a larger group, but it can be done with both. And the purpose of this icebreaker activity is to get to know each other on a basic yet somewhat personal level. So it can make everyone feel a little more comfortable with each other, and people can see what similarities they share with each other. And it's a chance to learn about other cultures if people choose to share about theirs.
All right. And lastly, of course, there can be no way to measure the progress and total impact of our training without an evaluation plan. This is actually something I focus on in my current place of work at Amazon. So I'm really passionate and enthusiastic about sharing this information with you guys. The purpose of the evaluation plan was actually derived from Kirkpatrick's 4-level approach, which was designed to measure participants' reactions, learn materials, and overall behavior changes as a result of a given training, right? So the evaluation plan will also allow us to answer some of the following centralized questions, as we can see here. The first question, how did learners react to the training? Did learners increase their knowledge of cross-culturalism? What effect did the training have on learners' behaviors? And lastly, what outcomes were produced because of the training? So level 1, we have Kirkpatrick's initial level for evaluation, which involves the assessment of participants' reactions immediately after completing the program. Some of these questions may include, altogether, do you feel that your knowledge or skills have been improved by participating in this training? Name the areas you enjoyed most of this training and add other activities you wish you could have seen. These questions will allow us to collect tangible data relating to participants' initial thoughts and reactions to the training, provide deeper insight into the preferred activities, and provide critical insight into other activities that could be implemented to improve the program's effectiveness moving forward. And so for level 2, we have Kirkpatrick's second level of evaluation, which is intended to measure changes in attitudes, acquired knowledge, and overall learned skills. This makes level 1 one of the most significant of the 4 levels, given that there can be no changes in behavior if no actual learning occurs, right? So to measure the participants' increased knowledge in cross-culturalism, we will use these following questions. Pre-course, how would you rate your knowledge of leadership theory and techniques? This one will be before we start the training itself. Then after the course, we will be asking the next questions. The first question will be, after completing the program, how would you rate your knowledge of, for example, our theories, right? So the theories that we discussed earlier in the course, and then its techniques and how they have influenced you. Was the size of their training appropriate? Please explain why or why not. Again, as we mentioned earlier, we want to make some of the activities in smaller groups, right? So if some participants may believe the groups should be larger or perhaps smaller, this will give us more insight and allow us to make adjustments to our training moving forward. And was the mix of presentations and activities suitable, practical, and relevant to your needs? Earlier, we did mention that there was 2 activities. We want to see if we should add more, right? Or maybe we should add more engagement, more writing, more studies. This is all things we're going to pull from our evaluation. And that is our second level evaluation. So moving on to our third level evaluation, behavior. So behavior changes serve as a major indicator that some level of learning did in fact occur, right? To gather this information, we will use these following questions. Thinking back prior to the training, would you have performed your role and responsibilities the same or differently? Please explain. Was the material personalized enough to help you solve problems specific to your job and role? So again, we are going to be working with different organizations. So we do want to make sure it is specific and actually helping them in their role. We will be using these questions to obtain a greater understanding of what content and modules had the greatest, most significant impact on our participants. Of course, we are well aware that behavior changes do not always happen immediately, right? So it may take some time. So it is very important to provide enough time before conducting this third level of evaluation. And lastly, results. So this is the fourth and final level of Kirkpatrick's model, and that is evaluating results. Results can be a major indicator of the effectiveness of a program. And although we hope to see tremendous results from the get-go, right, from the offset of our program, we know that there is always room for improvement. So we will ensure we use the data collected throughout our evaluations to make changes and improvements to our training. Just like behavior changes take time, results also take time to appear, right? That's the ones that's going to take the longest. That can range anywhere between weeks and months. So we are well aware that we have to be patient for this fourth and final step to fully make the impact. And so that's it. You guys made it to the end of our presentation. It has really been an honor putting this together with my team. So thank you guys. And I really hope it changed the lives of millions of individuals and organizations alike, right? Cross-culturalism not only has the potential of making a job more diverse and equitable, but it has the potential of opening entirely new opportunities for businesses and organizations. So through focused evaluations, engaging group activities, and social skills training, there is absolutely no doubt that cross-cultural barriers will be a thing of the past. This training matters. Why does it matter? Because it is the future. Globalization and technology, it just has put the world so much closer together, both within and outside of the workplace, right? And it is training like this that will allow us to understand diversity that there is among cultures, and we're just going to establish cross-cultural organizations all across the globe. This training is more relevant today than it ever was. And I really hope it will slowly start to roll out into schools and other organizations. The quicker we adopt it, the quicker we can reach our goals of a cross-cultural globe. Let's make it happen. Let's make some history. Thank you all. And we will leave the next section for questions and answers. Did you guys have any questions? My own team? Probably not. So right here, we're going to leave this up to the panel, questions and answers. Let's go make that history. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I'm excited.
All right.